I ended up getting a stalker.
Oh,
And it was the scariest thing ever. He would wait outside my bar for me to leave.
Oh my God.
And follow me home.
They
And
are. Yeah, I had a guy
protective.
go across the bar the other day, and one of the regulars, it wasn't even the security that was there. It was like, he pulled him back from the bar. I was like, you need to get the fuck back over there. Like, I get mad because I switch really quick. But anyway, sorry.
And that's what...
Hey.
hello,
ladies.
guys.
How are we this morning?
Great.
Yes, I say this morning, and yes, we're drinking, and it's...
It
9 a.m.
is the morning.
Good morning.
Hey, no one's looking at the
On
clock.
that note, right? We're not looking at the clock.
We have
5 o'clock
Kat
somewhere.
with us today.
Kat,
so Kat is amazing. She has so many great stories. She's been in the industry, and
We're so
even
excited she's
more than that. So there's
Yes.
just so much to
Super
her, so many
excited.
levels, the depth, and just like fun, cool, awesome
We're
stories.
gonna have some good shit
Yeah.
for you guys, for real.
Yes.
We
Yes.
are sponsored today by
yes.
Deep Eddy,
Deep
and
Eddy.
we made some. Actually, Rhonda made these. So, Rhonda, what did you make us?
I made Deep Eddy because Kat likes lemon martinis.
Yes.
Perfect. So
And
we made some lemon martinis.
Yes, mine's all sloppy. I took the ugly one.
Cheers.
So.
That's okay. Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers. Cheers.
ladies.
Love.
Yes.
Super excited.
You know, the lemon juice on the rim keeps it so much like the sugar there.
Yeah.
It doesn't just like peel off.
Yeah. It totally helps.
Delicious.
That's
Very
really
Okay.
good. Thank
Well,
you,
Kat, we want to know all about you. So give us a little rundown of you, where you've been, where you started, and then we're going to get into the nitty gritty.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So my name is Kathleen, and for short, like in the industry, I've been known as Kat.
Meow.
And ultimately, I started with like bartending. I'm sorry, let me back that up. I started with doing spokesmodeling for Budweiser.
Nice.
And different brands and whatnot, and in the industry. And from there, it kind of just took on a life of its own, and I started doing ring events for, different boxing events such as
Nice.
HBO and whatnot. And from there, I
Wait,
created-
so boxing events. So like you were a ring girl?
yeah,
and did-
I was
okay.
the one that held
Ugh.
up the
Hold
cards.
hands.
Okay,
See,
honey.
you know what?
Love that.
I always wanted to do that. I'm like, oh, that'd be
You
so
totally
cool.
should have.
Back in my
Shit,
modeling
right?
days, yeah. I missed that opportunity,
That
but
was fun. I met a
love
lot
that.
of great people. I mean, honestly, from that propelled a lot of my customers and segued into the bar industry.
Okay.
so it like
like,
started giving you a
Yeah.
name.
Yes, yeah.
I love
And
that.
it was great. I mean, the energy in the room, meeting the boxers, meeting the promoters, meeting the people in the industry, all business like-minded, much like myself. And honestly, the bar industry is a business.
yeah.
Yeah.
It
Definitely.
is.
No, it's
you
huge.
It's
you
huge.
are a business.
It's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah, and how you promote yourself, whether you are like the silly, cute, ditzy girl, but you're really actually, like you, very educated and things like that, or if you just, just being personable to people. I mean, there's just different ways to communicate, and it is a whole business behind the whole aspect. And the way you promote yourself, you are your own business too.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely, absolutely.
So do you feel like you met a lot of people starting out in that way that led you to bartending?
I did, absolutely. Because, like, when we were doing the modeling and the posters and whatnot and the signing, it became one of those things where you build that bond and that relationship with the girls. And,
Right.
And then at the time in my profession, I worked as a professional educator, believe it or not.
Oh, education. Yes. We get a lot of girls from education, actually. Yeah.
And believe it or not, like the summertime, you're off, and
Yeah.
if you don't put that, those monies away or the per diems away, then, you got to figure it out. And I'm, at the time, a single mom. And, a girlfriend of mine told me from Budweiser was like, hey, come over here and check this out. I work at a bar.
Yeah.
Come check it out. So she was the one who kind of just prompted me in that way to come check out this bar. And this bar was a sports bar, AKA / kind of like little dive bar.
Yeah.
And I was apprehensive at first about it. And I was like, well, if she's doing it, and she's got her shit together,
her shit
then I'm going to go
Yeah,
check it out.
right,
What could be
right.
the worst? you
Right,
know?
right.
So that kind of just ultimately led me into that direction and drove me there.
Okay.
And she's like, just see if you like it. And I went in there and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Like, where am I?
Where am I? Until the end of the day and you counted your tips.
And you're like,
No,
okay,
no.
so
I went to go see it, right? And I was
Right.
like, what is this? And she literally is like so like by the book and cleaning everything up. And I started to see ultimately like the regulars and the clientele like supporting
Yeah.
her, helping her take things out, put things in, walking her to her car. Like honestly, the camaraderie
Yes.
of your
It's like a
regulars taking
family.
care of you, that was like something I'd never seen before. And I was like, what is this? I wanted to know more about it because I was intrigued because of the way they treated her.
Yeah,
You know?
you wouldn't know what to expect. You think they'd be like, oh, like all loud and rowdy and not care, but they
Totally
like
the opposite.
protect the girls and they like take care of you. Yeah, so it's cool
a
to see.
big, huge misconception of it. Like, where am I
Especially
at?
dive bars. Like people don't understand that dive bars are a whole different realm of their own. And some people love dive bars. They're like, yeah, dive bars are cool. Like I love going to dive bars. Some people are more apprehensive.
Yeah.
But when you actually go in and you are part of that family culture and they bring you in quickly, even if you're a newcomer, they'll come and be like, buy you a shot. And they love to like build that community. And they really like, it's just such a great place for bartenders to build and create like, relationships. And
Totally. Yeah. There was the guy with like, whether it was the cut or like the blue collar guy, and they were really more respectful. And very much attentive to not being pushy, but protective. And I was all about it. I was like, wow, I want to know more about this. I was open to it. Okay. And then once I met the owner and he was like, okay, let's see if there's something you want to really do. And I loved it. Yeah. After that, I was like, I'm in. And it really did feel like a family. Ultimately, it was a family. Yeah. When I got in there day one, your regulars, you obviously, you gain that relationship. You gain that rapport. Yeah. It takes a little bit of time. But and honestly, bartenders are really particular about who their regulars are. Let's be honest.
We
don't cross the line.
When we can be picky, we're picky.
Yeah, this is mine. That's yours. Which, with all due respect, you earn that, right?
Yeah.
And
100%.
it was earned. And at the end of the day, it was an amazing experience. I felt like it was my home.
See, I love that.
It was my home.
And so the sports bar or dive bar that you worked at, it was like a sexy girl bar. So it was like all female bartenders, kind of like the same kind of style, like the hot girl bartenders. So you like once in a while you were doing the bikini thing, or otherwise you were just, obviously you have a killer fucking body. So I'm sure that everybody just like ate you up no matter what. I know. This is like, I know, I can't even.
She's goals right now, literally.
She is so goals. I can't. But yeah, so it was like, and then just how did you feel like being like, or even in a bikini on bikini days that you worked and stuff like that? Was everyone like, was it just like a fun party, but you never felt like, like people were weird about it? Like,
honestly,
what, Melissa?
Sorry,
are you gonna die? Oh, is it a sneeze?
Yeah, no, don't die right now. Don't die. No, honestly, I do believe, again, being in the bar industry as far as the spokesmodeling, and then in the ring events, it segued into that. So I felt comfortable with it as far as being in a bikini.
So you're already outgoing and bumping.
Yeah, as far as where I was, it was really getting to know my regulars and or AKA my bar back, and they protected you.
Yeah.
They were like, no one's crossing this line, no one can come there. And if you feel an uncomfortable way and you feel a certain way towards somebody that may not be a regular, let me know. Let me know.
Yeah.
So that was a safe haven for me. I did feel safe.
Yeah.
And
I feel
that
like
respect was earned.
I feel like they kind of know too. They read you. Like if your energy's off, they're like, "What's up?" I'm like, "Okay, well, this dude's kind of like he's getting a little weird." Like, and they watch you. They have your back. So
yeah, the regulars for sure, because they can sense you. They
how
know
you I had
one, and they're very protective.
They are. Yeah, I had a guy go across the bar the other day, and one of the regulars, it wasn't even the security that was there. It was like he pulled him back from the bar. I was like, you need to get the fuck back over there. Like I get mad because I switch really quick. But anyway, sorry.
And that's what family does, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. It was like somebody had my back, and it was because he's a regular and he knew me and he like read my energy and.
Yeah, no, that's the best part of the industry, because you meet people and then they like do more for you too. Like I know that you've had experiences where like you become really close to different regulars and they like support you in more ways than just financially or just tips at the end of the night.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously the relationships were earned because they'd come in on a regular. They know your schedule. Yeah. They know when you work, so if it's a Monday night football or if it's a Bikini Wednesday, whatever that is, they made sure they were dedicated. They were committed to your schedule. Right. They knew it. And to be honest, like there was those, you have to do your part too. And you text them, hey, come in to come see me. Yeah. So you have to do your part and really just promote yourself.
Right.
And if you wanted to get new people in, and a lot of those people were, again, granted, given from the industry of the spokesmodeling and AKA the ring event and girls, you know, you're bringing those people in, and those people in, you want to just kind of like, it's okay, it's a safe place.
Yeah.
Like, don't be
Yeah.
intimidated.
Just
So we
mesh in.
bring those people in, and they might be pulling up with Rolls Royces.
Right. So
Yeah.
I am super curious though. So because you're a ring girl, like you met a lot of people.
Big money.
You did some like promoting stuff. So do you have
Well,
any
Budweiser
like
promoting is awesome.
Budweiser,
so that's hard to do. I mean,
right?
back like
Seriously.
several years ago, they were so like very particular about
well,
that
I
stuff.
mean,
Yeah,
here
obviously.
we are. But do you have any like bomb ass like crazy stories? Do you have one that stands out? Something that's happened or someone you met or do you just come on? I
It's
want the
funny you
cheese
say
man.
that.
I want
You
the
know,
cheese
I
man.
know.
They're like, she's good at putting people on the spot. I can't remember. half the
So
things.
when I had to go back to like the real life per se, and you know my profession in the education, so it was so kind of the bar owner to allow me to cater to my my schedule. So I went back to that world. However, I was still given opportunity to work in the bar industry at night, and it was great because it wasn't until like 2 a.m. It wasn't those type of things. It was
Yeah.
like you got to cut it off when everything died out. However, I ended up getting a stalker.
Ugh.
And it was the
Okay.
scariest thing ever because here as a single woman, I did have my kids. I'm a single mom. And I'm getting out of work kind of late. And this stalker, per se, had my
Where
phone
did you
number.
meet him at?
Or
Or where did he meet you?
I
Or where
didn't
did he find
know
you?
at the time, but he was related to a friend of mine. And he had seen me and was able to get access to my phone number. And
Oh,
the
no.
police were involved, and he was following me. So he literally followed me everywhere.
So was
from
he
the
like
bar.
following, or was he like showing up at the bar?
Yes.
Like, what did he
Yes.
say to you? What was he doing?
He
Like,
wasn't going-
Are you allowed to talk about this? Really? Is what
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
no,
okay,
it's
okay.
all said and done. Like,
Okay.
it's been a chapter closed. It was scary, but
Yeah.
he would wait outside my bar for me to leave
Oh my god.
and follow me home and then tell me.
So were
like,
you always
what
looking in
I-
the rearview mirror? Like you were like always. I mean, I'm always vigilant when I leave anywhere at night.
How long?
anyway.
How long
Absolutely.
did it last for? Or like how long did it go on?
It was about a good, believe it or not, because honestly, at the time, I want to say it was like at least 15 years ago, unfortunately now. But there wasn't a whole lot of protection for stalking at
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
And when you call the police, literally one time they told me, get a dog.
Are you
serious?
kidding?
They told me, get a dog.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, because the dog is gonna be there when the guy's pulling a fucking gun on you, right?
Yes,
Like,
oh
okay.
my God.
Depending on what kind
Did
of dog.
he follow you actually ever to your home?
He did.
Ugh,
From
so
the
he
bar
knew
to
where
my
you
home.
lived.
He would follow me to different locations, tell me what I was wearing and everything.
And he would tell you, like,
Locations, yeah.
call you,
He
or
never came in the bar, but he would definitely sit outside the bar and wait for me to get off.
See, that's weird to me. I mean,
Can
I've
you
had
imagine nowadays? I'd be like, oh
no. I had a stalker come in
Yeah.
on Friday.
It's scary.
Why are you laughing?
Because I'm laughing because it was like perfect timing because he was literally there and I had run into him at a restaurant. He met me and he was like, oh, it seemed cool, but he like constantly is like messaging me on Instagram, and then he was in the bar the other night and he was like saying certain things, and I was like, oh, my stalker's here. I was telling the guys I was working with, and they were like, okay, so they were kind of like watching him, watching me, and he was like, I mean, and then at the end of the night he was like, so what do you want? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, yeah, what tip do you want? I was like, $100. And he was like, no, really? I was like, yeah, really? You asked me what I want. I'm telling you what I want. And then it turned into me getting
Yeah,
$100
it's
tip.
serious
but
stuff.
still stalker.
Ah,
Like, he
you
was
never
waiting
can trust
outside,
people.
like
It's scary.
in the car,
Following
like, hey,
you to your
let's hang
house.
out.
If I knew somebody, like, I'm so vigilant at night. Like, I'm always looking in my rearview mirror. I've probably over paranoid to the point where I've driven past my house like probably a million different times and spun around in circles and like done weird shit because I'm like.
Look
But in my head,
behind
I'm like
you,
super
who's
aggressive. I'm
following
like, you want to go down, motherfucker? Let me get to my house and get
Right?
my gun. Then we're gonna be
Get my gun.
talking. I'm like, I need
I know I got
security
pepper
that
spray
thing.
in my glove box.
I'm like,
so-
I am not afraid to shoot. Like, you want to mess with me and my livelihood and my
No.
kids.
So
But yeah, that's
did you
scary.
like carry things
At
or
the
were
time,
you...
no, but I will say this much. Like, my bar patrons that were like my regulars knew that I was going through this. And they were really adamant about like, well, we know this person in law enforcement. And they were really vigilant about walking me out to my car, making sure that nothing was around, making sure that they were protecting my car. All my tires were good. I felt safe in the domain that I was in. And then they're like, text me when you get home. Like, these were true people that became my family. They cared about my livelihood.
It's pretty amazing that people think, oh no, they just like you because you're hot, but really it becomes true.
More than that.
Deep, like real friendships. Like, it doesn't matter if they're 10, 20 years older than you or 10 years younger than you. You can like really develop relationships with people. Like, it doesn't matter who they are, you know.
To this
they really
day,
care.
I still have friendships from
Yeah.
the bar.
Yeah.
See,
And
I
there
love that.
have been pivotal moments that have impacted my life still.
Yeah.
You know, and they're still supporting me in different areas of my life now to this day.
And even when you were younger, like I know that you were saying that like you had people, you know, they would help like pay your rent when you were like a single mom, and like what else did they help you with?
What's the
You know
craziest thing?
Yeah, it's crazy because like you would think this dive bar, and again, I took a lot of those regulars, but also new clientele from the industry of whatever it was I was doing, whether it was modeling, spokesmodeling, or the industry of, you know, the ring girl event. But they would come in and show up to my bartending times that I would schedule to work, and I mean, there'd be times where I'm like, I'm a single mom, you know, and I didn't get that support elsewhere from significant other. And I got, you know, now, you know, kids' school clothes back to school, all the
Right,
things, you know,
right.
whether it be rent, mortgage, otherwise, or vacation.
Yeah.
And they're just like, what do you need? And literally just pull it out. And I'm
You're
not
like,
talking.
I
So
need
wait,
a
wait.
vacation.
So
Really? They're like, done
somebody
deal. Where are we
bought you a
going?
vacation.
literally.
Okay, so where did you go and like how did this happen? I'm just curious. I
Okay,
just wanna know.
so it was one of those things where I was like, it's my son's birthday and I want to do it up. And for us at the time, it was Havasu, like that was our big thing.
Uh-huh.
So a regular of mine was like, well, what do you need? And I was like, well, I want to be able to support and take him there. So that was my whole thing. I knew I was going to take him to Havasu, take him to the London Bridge, you know, resort,
Yeah.
whatnot. And he's like, what does that cost? And I was like, I don't know. It's roughly around this much. And then my car, I need to be able to get
Yeah.
over there. And my car right now was like, yeah, I was some things I needed to get done.
Uh-huh.
And then they're like, okay, here you go. What else do you need? And I was just like, what the heck?
See, that's so amazing.
Blown away
Hell
at
yeah.
the support and the
Yeah.
love. Like nothing in return. Like you're just my server girl. Like you're serving me my drink. It wasn't anything like that. And that's that
Yeah.
misconception that everyone thinks like, it's that like, damn, she's a mom and she's hustling out there and she's getting it
Yeah.
done. But there is people out there that are like, I want to see you winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they get to
See?
know you and they
That
actually
part.
like you too.
Yeah.
But that's and I love that because I've had customers offer to take me, but I'm too scared. But offer to take go on vacation,
Yeah,
take some girls
yeah.
to Hawaii. They took two of my customers to Hawaii. A customer, and he's a nice guy, but I was like, I didn't want to go. With
Yeah,
him. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you want to buy me tickets to go to Hawaii, I would go. But they had a great time and everything went really well. I'm like, that's really cool. But
Yeah.
I'm a little more skeptical. But if they're willing to just be like, hey, you know what? You're super rad and we fucking get along really cool. Let me hook you up. I'm going to take care of you, take care of your son's birthday weekend. It's so nice.
Right.
Yeah.
I had one
mean-
guy, you probably know him too, because I know one time when I was a bikini bartender, we worked at the same bar, but on different days. But there was one guy that would come in, he'd bring in brand new bikinis from this place and lingerie, and he'd bring in bags and be like,
Oh
whatever you
my
want,
God.
just take
Yes,
whatever you
I
want. Do you
remember.
remember him?
Yes.
So I don't remember what his name was. But anyways,
Yeah,
I mean, not that I want to put him
that
on
one.
blast. But yeah, he'd bring the girls, because we would work bikini days
Yeah.
and stuff, and he'd bring in all kinds of just stuff, here, take whatever you guys want.
Or what
Like,
about
yes.
the concert guy?
Oh.
The concert guy.
He is still a big part of our
Yes.
lives.
Concert guy.
He
Love
took
him.
me
Concert
and my
guy.
sister to Mariah Carey.
Oh
He
my
took
God.
me and my daughter and my sister to Perrymore, and she got to get the drumstick that they threw out there. That's how big she was up
how
in front.
close.
That is so funny because
Yeah.
I still text him daily.
Yeah, literally.
And
And
he will
I see him every week.
in
I
10
love
minutes.
him.
Yes.
Willie, I get to see him.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. he'll be
He's
in.
amazing. He's been in the industry for a long
No,
time.
he talks about you still to this day.
does,
That is
yeah.
so funny. I totally didn't even think
Oh my
about
God,
that.
I love
Yeah,
that.
and I
Yeah, no,
think that's a crazy thing.
and everyone loves him.
He is
still,
the sweetest.
Oh, God.
God.
He's
no, he's
honestly-
hooked me up with
And he's
tickets, too.
hilarious.
Yeah.
He likes to talk his shit and he likes to be funny, but he's just, you
Yeah.
know.
For me to
cool
be
dude.
like, I want to take my sisters to Mariah Carey. That was our thing and our jam. And he was like, all right, let's go. And he
love
met
Mariah
us there
Carey.
and everything. And he was like, what do you guys want? And just got the girls whatever
Ugh,
they want. My
see,
sisters, I was
that's
like,
so
yeah,
cool.
on him. Again, it was an experience.
Yeah.
But he
was
loves
able
it. It
to
makes
bring
him
that.
happy too. So
Yeah,
he's
it was
like,
a win-win for
Yeah.
us both.
So he's
you
gonna be
know?
so excited we're talking about him right now.
I know. I don't know if he has YouTube, but I'll have to pull
no,
it up and
he
show him.
literally. No, he told me. He's like,
I
oh,
love me
listen
some.
to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
I do. And honestly, that's the industry. Because if they love you, they love you. There's
Yes.
nothing bad to say about Kat in the industry.
that's
My
good.
reputation forever will be living far beyond mine. And they know, they're like, oh, Kat. Kat. I have so many friends in the industry that, I can honestly say, not just me, but, I've done it. And I'm out of it now. But the relationships I still have and the reputation.
They continue.
Yeah.
So, my reputation.
The love. The love.
So where did bartending lead you? Like, where are you at now? What are you doing now?
Well,
now,
she's back to modeling and fitness.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, she does fitness
so.
competitions. I mean, look at this body.
you know what? Business has always been my forte. Like, I love business, the aspect of just being an entrepreneur. And
Yes.
honestly, you
She's
can't
a bad
just
bitch,
be
by
a
the way. I just wanted you to know.
Bad bitch.
You can't just be an bartender behind the scenes and be a pretty face. You have to have a personality.
You do.
You have to have the ability to be able to say, like, sell yourself, have the personal
So
relationship.
important.
Have the personal relationships, have your customers come in, keep it alive. So entrepreneur is a big thing of mine. So whether it's business and construction, which is all man dominating world, which I love, and
She's
contracts.
broke in and
Hell yeah.
conquered the male world in the construction industry. I mean, but who's not going to want her to build their gigantic, 5,000 houses on a hill? I mean, obviously.
Whether it's construction or otherwise, I will continue to succeed because entrepreneur is in my DNA, but really it's cultivated in the bar industry. You have to either make it or you break it. You just know.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you see a female behind the bar, when
Right.
she can have a relationship with X, Y, and Z and be able to
And totally different types
Harness
of
God,
that.
I love that. Yes. Totally.
That's huge.
It's
huge.
really
We're
it's
the
not
same way
about-
too. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so
Yeah.
like that's very
that's why I
like-minded.
totally get that.
So
I
we,
totally
yeah,
fucking
understand
get
that
it.
for
Yeah.
You
sure.
market
And you can't,
yourself.
you don't judge people, and
No.
you're like, you never know like who.
No.
Because I got so many opportunities from people in life, like, and they were all literally 95% customers that I had met at bars that I
Right.
bartended at that ended up like, hey, I have this opportunity, or hey, this business is, I own this business, and do you want to just take it
Yeah.
over, or this and that. I'm like, oh my God, like, yes. I'm
You
like,
never know
I'm
what's
so
coming.
grateful. You never know
Yeah.
who you meet, and
how I
it's
met
a
you.
really great way. Yeah, it's how we met.
Yeah.
It's how all of us met, like
Yeah,
through the bar world.
literally,
So, yeah.
literally, my daughter had like a toothache, and he's like, "My friend's a dentist. Take her here."
You're
Like, you just never know. My
Fucking
friend's
universe,
an attorney.
man.
My friend's
I
an
love that.
attorney. Take him here.
Yeah.
yes. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
All the
So
plethoras
true.
of life.
So
Don't
if you need
underestimate
some-
the
yeah,
bar
don't
industry.
underestimate, especially dive bar
No.
guys. They're the
Don't.
shit. They know their shit.
Literally.
So have you had any experiences, speaking of like dive bars, so dive bars and sports bars are predominantly men that come in. So, I mean, there are the women, like the super confident women that come in, they like to hang out with the girls, and the guys, they bring their husbands, and they're like the
Yeah.
super rad chicks. But have you had any experiences with like women that maybe didn't know their husbands came in, or that you had to cover for them? Or, I mean, not that they're there like, doing something they're not supposed to, but a lot of women believe like if you're there and you're looking at like a gorgeous girl or a pretty girl's there, they're like instantly insecure
Yeah.
about it. Like, so have you had experiences like with like guys like having you cover for them or doing anything like that? Or
I honestly have to say, there's been far and few.
Okay.
Believe it or not,
Okay.
it's
Oh, that's
crazy. However, if they're really confident, they come in with their wives, and
Yeah.
their wives are ultimately confident as well.
Yeah,
But you
they have to be.
always, as we know, as bartenders, cater to the woman first.
yes.
And you do all
talked
the
about this.
compliments.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
And everyone,
If you know, you know. You
Yes,
know. You
yes.
cater to the woman first, and you do all that, and you win her over, and then you go from there. You don't go to the male. However, in regards
And
to
it's not
like,
that you want the male anyway, but it's
No.
that's what they think automatically.
No.
That's the
Actually, I'd rather
females.
talk to the chick most of the time.
The
Just
female's
saying.
automatic thought is
Yeah.
you're after my man,
Yeah.
So you have to let them know that you're not,
And that's the
Right.
crazy part and the misconception of like, half the time we're working, we are on. We are not interested in anyone.
No, absolutely.
Just
not.
making
Or
your
we have
money,
another life.
get home, do your
Right.
stuff. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Thank you.
Right? We have
Yes.
another life outside of this.
Yeah.
This is a persona we put on. This is a marketing. This is a business.
Yes.
This is not our real life. Like we don't want your man. We don't even want the man of the bar.
I don't want
Yes.
your man.
No,
But
we're here to
in
make
reality-
money
Right,
like all
right.
people do when they go to work, and
you. That part.
It's a job.
it just happens to be really good money.
And it's a-
Yeah, that
and it's
part. That part.
fun money.
Yeah,
and connecting with people for sure. So, yeah.
Connections are really big, and you'd be surprised. Some people would ask me, like, if you want to talk dollars, like, you have females that are very highly educated, myself included, and they're pulling up in their BMWs or their Mercedes, and they're on this dirt road and this little, like, rinky-dink hole in the wall, aka maybe even sports bar, and they're not dumb. We're walking away with, believe it or not, $3,000 a night, if not more. Like, it's not an industry where you're like, oh, I'm just making a couple money. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing, and we're there for the reasons of, yes, a part of it is hustling, but the bigger part of it is like we're not just there to hustle to make that money,
Yeah.
but the relationships that are built and bonded.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, to this day, I've been out into the industry for, gosh, a good while now, 15
You
years.
don't need to.
You can edit that part. But nonetheless, I still have those relationships.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of those relationships with a lot of my regulars, a lot of my people that really, truly, genuinely care with me. And that says a lot.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
says a lot. Like, how many people can say that you've built that bond and it's still going?
Yeah.
Yes, I
That's
know,
genuine.
like years, like a decade later or whatever it
Exactly.
is. So I'm the same way. Like we even have some similar connections that we still have in our lives, you know what I mean? Or that still have made a huge impact. So yeah, no, that's massive. So, and people have always, you know, been there and supported us no matter where we've gone in life and stuff. So that's really huge. But yeah, so.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are currently running a couple businesses.
She's an
All the
entrepreneur, so
things,
she's a
entrepreneur,
dabbler. Like
doing
she's
all
in
the
everything.
things.
She takes care of her shit. She has
Right.
a gorgeous house. Oh my god! On Christmas, she posted pictures. She had like 5 white
Okay, so
Christmas
Christmas
trees
party
in
at
this
Kat's house,
room.
is
Yeah,
what you're saying.
she didn't invite
Perfect.
us, but everything was
I mean,
white.
no, this year. I'm
I
talking
wouldn't
this
want
year.
people in my house. So
I'm
I
talking
had
this
her
year.
house because everything's diamond and
I
white
love
and like
it.
sparkly and like and she's a bulldog lover, mama,
Yes,
and she's
yes,
just very. Oh my god!
Okay,
I'm like,
so
oh.
I kind of, I guess what I just want to know is how grateful are you about where you started and where you're at?
Oh my
and
God, so grateful.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put it like this.
This is a very grateful girl. She's
Yeah.
I can
she
tell.
counts
I
her
can tell. That's
blessings.
kind of why I'm like.
I am a
do you know what I
very
mean?
faith-based, blessed female. Let me put it like this, without saying an age. My daughter's at an age where she can now bartend. And I support it.
Yeah.
I love it. I tell her the tricks of the trade. And I'm like, look, if you're going to do it, you know, not everyone's cut from the same cloth. Not
Right.
everyone can do it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have to be personable. You have to be
Yeah.
able to talk to that person that's not willing to talk. You have to be able
Be
to go
fucking
out
real.
there.
You know what I
have
mean?
to be real. You have to, if you're having a bad day, it's going to show up.
Right.
Don't show up and don't bring that with you.
Yes.
Yes.
You are wearing a persona. If you are there to be there of service to them, you know?
Yeah. And then they're gonna give it to you in return too. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's
It's a
a street.
win-win.
It's like a whole like friendship thing. So it
Yeah.
totally
It's-
works all around.
It's a win-win. And I think
Unless it's a stalker, which we don't do stalkers.
Yeah,
anymore.
no,
Wait, you
no,
never
no.
told us, how did the stalker situation end? What happened
he
to the
ended
guy?
up getting arrested. He ended up getting finally caught and arrested because it was one of those things like when I got home, it was scary and he'd say all the things that he was going to do. He called me and left messages. And the
Well,
whole
like, was
nine.
it like physically violent or
Did you
sexual?
change your number?
Or,
It
like,
was all, no, I didn't change my number because it was almost like once I changed my number, then what was next?
Yeah.
right.
You know, the whole goal was to get to.
he wanted that
yeah.
reaction.
And it was crazy because like I would see him at gas stations. I didn't know it was him.
God.
Yeah, crazy
No
stuff
way.
with my kids.
So did you know that what he looked like or anything? Or you
I
were
didn't
just
know it was
like-
him at the time, you know, but then obviously it came out because they were able to do a lineup and they
They
got
did a
like
lineup?
They did
oh
a
my God. So you were
lineup.
like,
Oh my
like on the,
God.
what are those TV shows called?
Yeah.
Come on, tell me.
Like,
Like
true
CSI?
crime?
I don't know.
Like,
But
CSI,
I've always,
yeah. All the
that's,
things.
I don't know, it's in so many
Yeah,
ways.
they
Yeah.
subpoenaed my records, so they were able
They
to get
put
to
you behind
Verizon
glass
'cause
and
he called.
stuff?
It was
I
actually
wanna
a
know
picture
the
lineup.
details.
A picture lineup.
A
Oh,
picture
okay,
lineup.
sorry. In my head, I'm like, I obviously live in the
know.
movies.
So they subpoenaed the records of because it would be a private call, so they were able
Mm-hmm.
to subpoena the records and get the people who were actually calling in, and that's how they found out who it was. They
Wow,
caught
that's
him.
crazy.
Yeah, and he was, believe it or not, surprisingly on probation.
Oh, well,
Surprising.
so that was easy for them. Then it was
to
like,
take him
There we
in,
go.
he violated,
and then he
yeah.
just kind of eventually disappeared.
disappeared.
And, okay,
yeah.
good. Ugh.
Yeah, so it was a safe haven after the fact. I felt at least safe after that. I mean, I'm always still looking over my shoulder.
Well, yeah, I mean, once you've gone through something like that, you've always got to kind of keep an eye out. But that could happen to someone in any industry, really. I mean, it's not just like the bar industry. But, I mean, you are a gorgeous girl, and being in that industry, it obviously kind of makes you a little higher target.
Yeah,
but
more accessible.
as long as girls are, like, really vigilant, and you have your security walking in the car, and you have your customers taking care of you, you know, try to avoid those situations.
I think that one thing I have to add from that is that on my own, because the entrepreneur spirit of myself is that I added that component of bartending, and I did mobile bartending. You know, so I had a number of girls underneath me, and I had them
We need
all
to
go
open a
class.
bar together.
I know.
Can we talk
I was
about
literally
this?
gonna say,
We've talked
so-
about it before. We have
We
talked
have.
Are
about
you
it.
going to open a bar? Like,
but she
are you,
wasn't-
When is your future plan?
She has,
like,
she
literally,
has the
I literally
money,
was gonna do
and
that.
then
Yeah.
I
and we
know
both
the
have
business
money
very
in your
well. I know the
pocket.
business very well. This
we've
is
talked
something
about
that
this. We've sat down and
I
had
think I'm at
conversations.
a place where I'm available now. Girl, we got to talk
yeah,
more.
we're
We
talking.
gotta
All right,
talk
after
more.
There
this,
you go. See, this is
There's to
meant
be
to be.
continued.
Yes,
Pay
I know,
close
right?
attention.
Right.
So
Next
when
location
I
coming
did,
soon.
Yeah, when I did when I did the mobile bartending, I have to say there was a funny incident where I sent one of my girls, to a wedding, and I have to laugh. But I sent her to a wedding, and because we had different events, it was like a lot of, believe it or not, peace officers that they would have, they would have holiday parties, or they would have this or that.
Yeah.
So we were like out in Huntington Beach. I'd send the girls to that. Yeah, they do. And, and they had different holiday parties or whatever the case may be. But in this case, it was a wedding, right?
Okay.
So I sent one of my girls out there, and they had really good champagne and really good tequila. So he said,
Tequila?
so
Did you
he
see how she
said,
said that?
he said, I want her to do half and half, right?
Half champagne, half tequila?
But to pour it half and half.
Oh, I thought you meant.
Okay.
I was imagining drinking that right now.
Well,
Sean.
that's literally how my girl took it.
Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
That's
love that
literally
happened.
how she took it.
We are just as dizzy as her girl, apparently.
was not me.
literally, I have now the guy calling me saying, she mixed the two together, the champagne and the tequila.
Now I'm gonna try that. That sounds horrible.
I was like, I am so sorry. So then I called my girl and I'm like, you weren't supposed to mix it together. You were supposed to do half champagne, half tequila shots to do the toast.
Right.
So it's one of those things.
Oh, so
where it's
people
like,
wanted toast
Like
tequila,
to pass
toast
them around.
champagne.
Like, okay,
Yes.
here's
Oh my
champagne,
God.
here's tequila.
Somebody, all right, you know what? We need to go out. Can you get a bartender to pour us a half tequila, half champagne shot?
I mean, actually,
we're gonna go
we
out with
had
that.
shots, but
Shit.
Are we
Yes.
Are we
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to try it. I don't know why. Is that disgusting?
Oh my God, you're
We'll
gonna be
definitely figure it out.
fucked up.
We'll
Just
figure
a
it out.
baby one,
But it
just
was
a 1
really
ounce.
expensive. And so
Oh,
literally,
it was
I had to
good.
do damage control, and I was like, I'm so
no.
sorry.
You're like,
I
I
will
will buy
not
you
charge
What
you.
tequila
Yes.
was it?
Yeah.
Yes, I don't recall at the time, but I had to do damage control, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. She took it literally. I'm
Oh my
so
God.
sorry.
We are not doing this.
You gotta watch out
We're
for
not
the bartender.
doing
Yes.
No,
And I'm
they're
like-
making it right now.
You're gonna make champagne tequila.
We can sip
This
it,
is
and then we'll
funny.
drink our other ones.
Okay,
out.
so now
Were you there to try the champagne
was
tequila?
not. I
what
sent
if
my
it is
girl.
like the new trend?
What
Okay.
if it is?
Okay.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Here we are. We're gonna start a new trend. Half champagne, half tequila. And
Yes,
you heard it here
yes.
first. on
Everyone
Tipsy
is
Talk.
welcome to try it at home
Everyone
with
is
us. Let's
welcome.
see if we can
Let's
even...
do a Tipsy Talk like tequila champagne challenge and see. I don't know.
thing.
It's gonna be a whole thing.
Oh, I'm like, when is this happening today?
right now.
I didn't get to eat
We're starting it
breakfast
right
yet.
now. Girlfriend, I have
haven't
snacks
eaten
for
food.
you. I have
Okay.
snacks for you.
All right,
I mean,
Snacks are not
here.
breakfast.
You're the one that wanted to do this, and now it's starting.
I know. So with that, my entrepreneurial self was like, okay, well, I can make that up to you. What can we do? But it all started from the bar industry,
Right.
as far as being able to, just cultivate that and then
Okay.
into my own, and created a whole little mobile bartending.
I love that.
And we did, whether it was holiday party, whether
God,
it
you're
was.
such an entrepreneur.
I love that. I've
it.
tried to do it a couple times. I actually worked for a company that was, I'm not going to name it because I didn't like the owner. He was actually a pretty creepy, weird guy, and they're local. So I worked for him, and we did like red carpet events in LA and this and
Yeah.
that and whatever, and
Yeah.
just bartended like
Yeah.
random birthday parties and stuff. And I was like, God, I could totally do this eventually. I actually started a company, but I never ended up following through with it. So maybe that's something we can bring
have
back
one,
in
but-
life.
Yeah, you know
Pretty
what?
much life.
Bachelor party, bachelorette party.
I've done side parties. I've
Yes,
done like
even
birthday
bachelor parties. I have
and
girls that
stuff.
would totally do like straight bikini or
Yeah.
lingerie, like fun, like
I'm
like
big
to
They
go
run
one.
to
their own
thing.
entertainment, and you'd be surprised. Like, I mean, I've done weddings. I've sent my girls to weddings.
Yeah.
And weddings are endless, as you know.
Yes,
like
constant.
that's where the
Especially
money's at.
weddings, so yeah,
Like
yeah,
I have
yeah.
a bottom line, and then they have their chips. And these girls love weddings because
Yes.
there's like it's endless amount of
And
money.
everyone's
And
drinking,
usually
they're
everyone's
so
drinking
happy.
and they're tipping and they-
And it
Yeah.
all started
It's like-
from behind the bar, and I was
Yeah.
like, "How can I prosper from this?" Because now my life is a different place, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I did after the fact when I got into the whole relationship thing. That's neither here nor there.
She's like, her eyes just rolled back really hard.
single
Love
now,
will fuck us
but the point being,
Cha-ching.
the point being, like I created a business even out of that.
Yeah.
Shop.
But that was one of my like, wait, oops, she poured them together.
Okay. I love
Okay.
that.
Well, I tried to
Super
make it
excited.
happen. It doesn't look like the bartender's
No.
going to be able to pull that off.
But we got these.
Yes, we do have shots. So I did make us, and I used Deep Eddy and a little bit of grenadine and a little bit of Sprite. So it's kind of like a try out kind of drink.
Look at you just serving us right now. This is amazing. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go out with our Deep Eddy. We're going deep. We're going deep. She said it. Here we go.
We're going to cheers to poor decisions because that's what we do. Because
poor decisions. And in my head, I read the word poor.
I know you do, but it's
poor decisions.
P-O-U-R.
Yeah.
But then I always say P-O-O-R. So
because that's what you mean.
None of us are poor.
Like, that's how we learn. This is how we learn. This is how we learn.
None of us are poor.
Okay, cheers.
Woo, cheers, ladies.
Salud.
Salud.